see air? Ma'am, obviously not. Then how do you know about the presence of air? Your answer should be with the help of fan, with the help of balloon, or those flying hairs of heroines in every Shah Rukh Khan movie. But do you know that? The air that we can't see around us will make our life impossible if it is not even present for a single second. The same air decides where there will be rainfall, where there will be high temperature, where there will be humidity, and where there will be snow, etc., etc. Yes, this concept of geography is very important, as important for our life, as important for your class 9 curriculum also. So welcome on the platform Diksha Vedantu, my dear class 9 students. Today we are going to cover the very important chapter of your geography, right, from your part 1 book of SST, and the chapter is obviously atmosphere and climate. Today we are going to decode every single detail about the chapter. So as you can see here, the title, that is the NCERT line by line. You're well aware that beta, this particular series, right, this particular series has been already started on the platform, where we completed all the first chapters from history, geography, civics and economics, and today we are going to complete this chapter. Now if you are one of my old students, you know that how do we study, and if not, let us have a quick recap about that. Before that, let me tell you to all the students watching me right now, beta, I don't want you to see my video lying on the bed. I want you to sit on the study table, watch my video. Along with that, take your NCERT, because the line itself says NCERT line by line. It is not just that I will be reading the NCERT, should be rather we both learn it together. I'm not going to teach you, we both are going to learn together. For that, you need your NCERT along with you, as well as you need the pen. You need the pencil, as well as if notebook required by you. Okay, so let us start how to study and what we are going to study in this chapter. So bacha, first I will start with what to study. Right, what to study in this chapter, that is titled as atmosphere and climate. So the timeline of the chapter is such that first of all we will learn about what is atmosphere. We will learn about a sphere of what? Geography. The sphere of our surrounding, that is atmosphere. Right, after that we will see beta what is the composition of atmosphere. That means the atmosphere contains what, it is made up of what, right? So first we will see the composition of atmosphere, then beta we will learn about the layers of atmosphere. So there are 5 layers in the atmosphere, like troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere and exosphere. We have to learn about each of them, their importance and relevance in the human life. After that, we will learn about certain factors, or what we can say elements of what bacha? Elements of weather and climate. Elements of weather plus climate. Acha, by the way, before that we will understand what actually is weather and climate, because I know most of the students are so much confused that in the statements we use daily, we often use the wrong word. Like there are people who are saying that today the climate is hot. You know that the statement is totally wrong, because for today it is weather, not the climate. By the way, this will be clear to you throughout the video. Next will be after that beta elements of weather and climate. Then we will learn about every detail about the monsoon structure of India. By India has a special monsoon type of climate, right? How do we get the rainy season? How do we get even the rain in the winter season? Everything will be clear. After that, we will end with a topic, that is climate change. Yes, that is affecting us. And beta, a case study is given to us here regarding the Punjab flood, right? Regarding the Punjab flood, and that was in the year 2025, yes, just last year. So the NCERTs are updated, more Indianized as well as now. I feel that it is updated because by the case studies of last year, you know, up till last year, now when the books were old, beta, we were studying the case study of around 1970s, and since then the books were not updated. So that thing is pretty good with you. Now the next point is beta how to study, and this is very very important for all my students watching me. Okay, the first thing is beta we together will read the NCERT line by line, right? Every line of NCERT is quite important because questions are made straight from your NCERT, nowhere else. The second thing after this is what beta, we will solve all, after this, before solving the MCQs, I want all my students to make the short notes along with watching the videos. Once you are done with watching a topic, please read that NCERT, make short notes here and then only, so that no another time you require, we are not going to waste your time, right? Third thing will be, after every important topic, right? After every important topic, you will get an MCQ. And after that, bacha, right? Don't go anywhere because we will be solving the NCERT questions too. NCERT questions too. And as well as the last and the most important thing, that is my favorite part of the video. And that is the homework questions. That is what, my dear students? The homework questions. This is the pattern of the class for today. Okay, by the way, I will also tell you in between of the class that how to access these notes which I am making for you. Okay, so let us begin with the first topic, that is atmosphere and climate. Beta, the chapter starts with some big questions. There are 4 big questions every time in this book, beta. The chapter is starting with the 4 big questions on which the whole complete chapter is revolving. Here it is. What is the composition of the atmosphere? Okay, bhai. How do different layers of atmosphere affect the planet Earth? We will learn about that. What is the mechanism of monsoon and how can we reduce our carbon footprint? Beta, you can also answer these questions when we end this chapter, because see, not only this question is going to come in your exam, but yes, there are high chances that these questions can be asked in examination. So first we will start with what is atmosphere. What do we start with, beta? What is atmosphere? As I just told you that you can't see the air around us, but you know that there is a sphere. There is basically a blanket, right? Like consider that you are holding a globe, right? Above that globe, like what you can do in put a blanket over it. That blanket of air is known as atmosphere. We have hydrosphere. All the water regime is known as what, beta? Hydrosphere. All the land part of the earth is known as what, beta? Lithosphere. Similarly, all the air part is known as atmosphere. You might be feeling that, ma'am, you are just telling so basics. Beta, I understand there are a lot of students who are not even aware about the basics. So the video will go likewise, where I will be teaching you every small point. Coming back to what is atmosphere, it is the blanket of air around us, around lithosphere and hydrosphere, because of which life is possible. Why Earth is a unique planet? Because it contains air which is not at all available in other planets like Mercury, Venus. Then on Earth it is Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. No blanket of air is present. Right? Even if it is present, the composition is not favorable to the human life. That is the reason, beta, Earth is the only planet which have life, and that is the only reason we are studying this topic for today. So beta, what happened now when we analyze the composition of atmosphere? We figured out that, right? They figured out that, beta, the highest number is of nitrogen, that is 78%. The highest number is of what, beta? Nitrogen, that is 78%. Then we have oxygen, that is 21%. Then we have, beta, argon, that is 0.93%, carbon dioxide, that is 0.04%, and there are certain other also gases present, that is 0.03%. Other than that, beta, we have dust particles. Other than that, what do we have? Dust particle, water vapors in air. Achha, one quick question to all my students watching right now. It is daytime at your home, all your lights are off, right? From a window, you just open the window a slight, you're lying on the bed. When a ray of light is coming through the window, can you spot these small particles that you can see? Those are the dust particles available in the or present in the atmosphere. Right? So similarly, beta, it consists of various gases, dust particle plus water vapors. And which one is the gas that is highest in number? Nitrogen. The next one, oxygen, 21%. The next one, that is argon. Then carbon dioxide and the rest one. Beta, each gas, pay attention, each gas is very, very important for our life. Like we are aware about oxygen, beta, because we inhale oxygen, we are living, right? We are living because we inhale oxygen. There is in the climate, in the atmosphere, carbon dioxide present, due to which the earth is little bit heated up. Right? When we talk about the use of nitrogen, it helps in the fixation of the soil. What? Nitrates. So that cycle goes on and the soil becomes fertile. We will learn about that in detail. So what is the composition of the earth, beta? The same paragraph is given in your NCERT. I want you to read. Right? Up till now, I was straight using that PDF from NCERT, but I know that as it was a white background, it was not readable for all my students, and hence I bought the screenshots. Okay? So the first paragraph says, the earth atmosphere is composed of mixture of various gases, that is nitrogen and oxygen. These are the two primary and most abundant gas. From here, one MCQ is there. Which gas is the most primary and most abundant gas? Okay? That is nitrogen and then oxygen. That is essential to life on earth. These are essential to life on earth. The next we have, beta, carbon dioxide, argon, helium, neon, krypton, xenon, ozone and hydrogen. These are some of the gases that is present in the atmosphere. Okay? But the quantity is very, very low, and hence we cannot tell the exact number. Along with that, there are water vapors as well as dust particles present. Okay? The amount of water vapor in the atmosphere varies. Obviously, it will vary from place to place. Like the water vapors will be most in the coastal region. Why? Because water is more there. With the help of evaporation, it will be converted into vapors more, and hence, beta, the amount vary from place to place. Like in Rajasthan, there will be no humidity, but in the Mumbai region, there will be high humidity. Why so? Because of the presence of what, beta? Water vapor. The amount of water vapor in the atmosphere varies, okay? It generally ranges from 0.1% to 0.4%. It plays a very significant role in cloud formation and precipitation. Precipitation means barish, obviously. The composition of the atmosphere can vary with altitude. This line is quite important because it can come in assertion and reason format or statement type of question, that if the atmosphere varies with the altitude. Yes, it varies. Why? Because whenever we talk about, beta, the climbers, mountain climbers, they are carrying oxygen tanks with them. Why? Because it is rightly said that as we move above with the altitude. Acha, what do you know? Do you know what is altitude? So altitude is basically height in the atmosphere. As we move with the altitude, the composition of the atmosphere decreases. Okay? The composition quietly decreases, the presence of oxygen decreases, and hence those mountain climbers are taking what? Oxygen cylinders with them. Okay? So here a very important question that can come in your exam. And what is the question, beta? Whenever I teach a topic, I also add the questions. You can also write those questions in the margins of your NCERT, can help you a lot. So the question can be, write in detail. Okay? Write in detail about what? About the composition of atmosphere. Write in detail about the composition of atmosphere. And this is the question. Right? I am giving you to write this question for how many marks? 3 marks. Good. After that, yes, we have an MCQ that which two gases together makes up to 99% of the Earth atmosphere. So we are well aware about that, beta. It is nitrogen plus oxygen. Okay, nitrogen plus oxygen, that is 78% plus 21%. It together makes to what, beta? 99%. And here the correct answer will be C, that is nitrogen and oxygen. That together makes to what, beta? The most, or what we can say, the abundant gas in the atmosphere. Done? Great. Now coming towards how is nitrogen useful for plants. So, a box is given in your NCERT. Let's recall. How is nitrogen actually useful? So there are different gases in the atmosphere. We know the use of oxygen, we know the use of carbon dioxide, but the question is, why nitrogen is the most abundant gas? Actually, how is it helping us and how it is more important helping plants, beta? So this is something you studied in your class 8 lecture, and I believe that you are learning this since class 6 basically, and the process is known as nitrogen fixation. What does this process known as, beta? Nitrogen fixation. Like, nitrogen is essential nutrients for plants. It is needed to make proteins, enzyme, chlorophyll and DNA, okay, which are important for plants' growth and development. It also helps plant produce healthy green leaves and grow properly. Okay, so the main important thing is, beta, when it is available in the atmosphere, okay, when it is available in the atmosphere, it will get fixed in the soil. Through the soil, it will go to the plants, help them in the growth, as well as, beta, to make proteins, enzyme, chlorophyll and DNA. So it helps plant make proteins, chlorophyll, DNA and promote healthy and green leaves. Do remember that. Plant absorb nitrogen from the soil in the form of nitrates and ammonium. Nitrates and ammonium, and that process, right, by which from atmosphere it goes to the soil is known as nitrogen fixation, and this is what is important. Next topic. Topic number 2 of the same chapter, that is structure of the atmosphere. So beta, the atmosphere somewhere look like this. So basically this is the outer, what? This is the outer layer of the earth, that is crust. That is what, my dear students? Crust. But above this crust, okay, above this crust, basically a layer, or what we can say, a blanket is surrounding. That blanket of air is known as what? Atmosphere. That blanket of air is known as what? Atmosphere. But do you think that, beta, as we go beyond and more beyond, the atmosphere will be same? Arey nahi bhai, not at all, right? And hence we have categorized it into certain layers. Okay, and we will learn that in this topic, that is structure of atmosphere. Beta, that layer that is very close to this earth crust. Okay, the layer that is quite close to the earth crust is known as troposphere, right? What it is known as? Troposphere. Okay, the height where the troposphere is present is somewhere around from 8 to 18 kilometers. Somewhere around from 8 to 18 kilometers. Okay? Above this troposphere lies another layer. Ore bhai. Okay. This lies another layer, that is stratosphere. That is what, beta? Stratosphere. So sphere you know now. Okay, so beta, it is around from, like, it is up till 50 kilometers. It is up till what, beta? 50 kilometers. So from troposphere to above up till 50 kilometers, it is what, beta? Stratosphere. Then comes the middle layer, that is known as mesosphere. That is known as mesosphere, and it goes up till where? It goes up till 80 kilometers. Goes up till 80 kilometers. Okay. Then we have, beta, thermosphere. We have what, bacha? Thermosphere, right? If you look at thermosphere, it is somewhere above, even above 100 kilometers, and then the last layer which actually get mixed with the universe. right, get mixed with the universe, and hence we are calling it as exosphere, like it is taking an exit from the atmosphere. Exosphere, exit from the atmosphere. Getting my point? So here is the layers of what? Atmosphere. If you usually find yourself in a spot that, ma'am, we forget this in the sequence, then here is the trick. The trick is the tiny students make tough exams. Consider yourself as a tiny student and you're going to rock in your tough exams. So the tiny student make tough exam. Troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere and exosphere. Tiny student make tough exam, and this is what are the layers of atmosphere. But beta, whenever we categorize something, okay, whenever we categorize something into one layer to another, there are certain differences. Yes, obviously, there are certain differences. Like when you sit in airplane, right, when you sit in airplane, if you have done so, you will analyze beta when the airplane is taking off, right, when the airplane is taking off, just at the below there is no disturbance, then you will find that there is a layer where lot of clouds are there, and finally the airplane crosses all those clouds and move to a layer that is stable, where no disturbance are there, no clouds are coming. Why beta? Is the cloud only present in some parts of the layer atmosphere? Why it is not evenly distributed in the atmosphere, right? As it is present over a height, why it is not evenly distributed throughout the height? Why it is only present in a layer? Acha, when you come down with the airplane, the same disturbance is often seen, and then during the time of landing, there is no such disturbance. So yes beta, according to the different characteristics of the items present in the atmosphere, we have categorized it into 5 layers. Right? Along with the altitude, that means height increasing from the earth crust beta, the changes are seen. In each of the layer. And now what we have to do is to learn about each of them. To learn about what? Each of them. So the tiny students make the tough exam. Ready for the tough exam, by the way, or not? So coming to this beta, let's start with the very first layer, that is troposphere. It starts with the very first layer. You know that is this one of the most important It is the one of the most important because humans are directly in contact with which layer of atmosphere? Troposphere. Why beta? Because it is just above the earth crust till around 18 kilometer. You know that the width of this troposphere, what? Width of this troposphere will be so much at the equator. And when you reach to the pole, the width decreases. Keep this in mind. It is one of the most important layer. You know that as you move in the layer with altitude, that means as the height increases in troposphere, the temperature will decrease. It is often said that when you go to the hill stations, when you go to the mountain regions, what happens that suddenly you feel like cold? Because beta, with the height in what? Troposphere, the temperature often drops. I will even tell you the reason for that. That why do with the height temperature drops. Keep that in mind. Okay. The next is the air we breathe exists here along with most of the water vapors and clouds. Right? So beta, the air that we are breathing, the water vapor that gets after evaporation of water, the dust particles particularly, and the clouds also. So the formation of the clouds happen in which layer of atmosphere? Troposphere itself. Not only clouds beta, all the weather conditions, that means rainfall, sleet, moving of the air, that is wind, everything is happening in which layer? Beta, everything, that is all the weather condition is happening in this layer, that is known as troposphere. Right? Particularly from troposphere, a 3-mark question can obviously come. So keep that in mind. Acha, when we are moving with the height, right? When we are moving with the height beyond that troposphere, there comes a layer that is known as tropopause. Tropopause is the zone where troposphere merges with stratosphere. It merges with what, my dear student? Stratosphere. So beyond the troposphere, then there is the second layer of atmosphere that is known as stratosphere. Okay, stratosphere. Above the troposphere it lies, it goes beyond up till 50 kilometers, and this is the place. This is the place where our aeroplanes are flying. So the next time you sit in the aeroplane, please tell your parents. By the way, they might know this, but still if they are not aware about that, tell your parents that we are flying in which zone. So we are flying in the second layer of atmosphere, that is stratosphere, and we have crossed what? Troposphere, where all the clouds and the weather conditions lie. Okay, so don't forget to tell them next time. So beta, this layer is ideal for flying because there's no weather conditions are not, the weather conditions are not there, and here the disturbance will not be. Right? A notable feature of this stratosphere is there is one thing available in the stratosphere without which life won't be possible. And what is that, beta? That is ozone gas. That is what, my dear student? Ozone gas, which shield us from filtering the sun's harmful radiation, including ultraviolet radiation. So beta, the sun emits UV rays, ultraviolet rays, which is actually harmful for human beings. It can cause cancer and many skin related disease. So beta, if ozone layer might not be present na, that UV rays will directly reach to the earth. And if it happens na, the life will not be possible, and hence beta, that UV rays is providing us a shield. A shield for what? A shield for ozone layer is providing a shield for UV radiations directly reaching to the earth's surface emitted by beta sun. Get it? Very good. The stratosphere marks the boundary between the stratosphere and mesosphere. Similarly, like tropopause is a boundary between troposphere and stratosphere. Similarly, between stratosphere and mesosphere, the boundary is known as stratopause. I will again make the diagram and make you understand that. Don't worry. First, we have to understand this mesosphere. Now, the middle layer. Meso means beta middle. Like we studied Mesolithic age. What is that? Middle. Similarly, this layer is the middle layer between what? Troposphere, stratosphere, thermosphere and exosphere. In this middle layer beta, it extends up to 80 kilometer. You know that as you go, the temperature decreases with the increasing altitude. The same happens in here also, stratosphere also. When we go above with the altitude, the temperature drops. The temperature drops with the height. Okay. You know that one striking feature of this mesosphere is those meteoroids. Now, what are those meteoroids? Entering upon the space, burn into mesosphere beta. So, when you see the universe, right? When you see the universe, there are certain pieces of rocks. The pieces of rocks that are revolving around the planets. You know that when they come, right? When they come in the gravity of planet, they actually start hitting the planet. But you know that the same happens with the earth. Whenever any rock that enters into the, what we can say, revolution of the earth, gravity of earth, it is attracted by the earth. It may happen that it reach to the earth and create life disturbance also, because a piece of rock coming from universe with a high speed and directly hitting the earth crust, by it can affect. But you know that this atmosphere is protecting us. It is protecting us as a shield. What happened in mesosphere beta, as this is the middle layer, it contains certain elements of atmosphere. When the rock is coming, the piece of rock is coming, it gets what? It gets dissolved by the friction, by the impact of what beta? Friction. So, entering from the space, they get burned here by the friction and save us by not reaching to the earth crust. This is the role of mesosphere as the third layer in the atmosphere. Moving towards the fourth one. Hold on, I know that you will forget things, but we will make a chart of it and quickly recap about what we studied. So don't worry. The next is about thermosphere. Beta, thermal word is there. Don't you feel there is something related to heat and hence can the temperature increase? Yes. Beta, here it is an exception that when we were moving, right, when we were moving in altitude in troposphere, stratosphere and mesosphere, one thing was common, that the temperature was dropping. But here in thermosphere, the temperature rises very rapidly with the increasing altitude. Why? Beta, as the gas molecules in this layer absorb the X-rays and short waves ultraviolets of the sun, right? Beta, see, mesosphere, in the stratosphere, the UV rays are not absorbed. But here in thermosphere, because of the presence of ions, the X-rays and the UV rays is absorbed, due to which heat increases. Okay, it extends from 80 kilometers to some around 700 kilometers. It also helps us in one very important thing, that is radio transmission. How? By reflecting radio waves transmitted from the earth back towards it. So beta, radio waves it transmitted to the earth, it goes to the atmosphere and comes back. Why? Because of this presence of layer. Okay? As in this layer the temperature is high, in this layer ions are present. We also call it what, beta? Ionosphere. Ionosphere. Acha, one thing that was quite popular on the internet these days about the northern lights and those fascinating clouds in the night. You know that it is only possible because of thermosphere. Additionally, what is the point here? The northern and the southern lights, which is popularly known as a factor of auroras. We will learn what auroras is. Also occur in the thermosphere, but I'm pretty sure that students are aware about that. On social media, you might have watched those videos talking about that my dream is to watch those northern lights sitting in Belgium, isn't it? So yes, this occur because of thermosphere only. So the next time someone talks about their dream of watching northern lights, please ask them the question, do you know about this feature or not? And then the last one, that is exosphere. Exosphere matlab exit. Okay? Beta, the uppermost layer of atmosphere is known as exosphere. Very thin layer. Obviously, by the volume of the gases present in the atmosphere decreases with the height, and particularly exosphere loses all that volume. Okay? Light gases like helium and hydrogen is floating. Rest all the gases are null and void in this layer. Okay? All these layers plays a very important role in the atmosphere as well as the climate and the life that humans are living. Before moving to anything, right? Before moving to anything, we will make a rough conclusion what we studied. So this is what? This is by earth crust. Okay? Visualize everything, bacha. So this is earth crust, and the first layer that is present is what? Thermosphere. That is present is what? Thermosphere. It varies from 8 kilometer to 18 kilometer in height. Right? This is the most important layer. This is the most important layer because beta, all the weather conditions, okay? All the weather conditions like the presence of cloud, the presence of oxygen, etc. happens here only. In this type of layer, with the increase in altitude, okay? As the altitude increases, the temperature decreases. Keep this in mind. Now we will move towards next layer. And what was that, beta? That is stratosphere. Okay, that is what, dear students? Stratosphere, right? It lies somewhere around up till beta 50 kilometers. Okay, how much was the height? 50 kilometers. Acha, why is it important? Because beta I hate this. Right? Aeroplanes fly here. Not you guys. I hate when my pen is not working according to me. Don't worry about that. I don't hate you. Okay, so aeroplanes fly here. Okay, why? Because there is no disturbance of what? Clouds. One more striking feature of this layer is the presence of ozone. Okay, the presence of ozone layer which save us from the UV radiations directly coming from the sun. ठीक है, the next layer, okay, we will change the pen. The next layer is what, beta? After stratosphere, we have the middle layer, popularly known as mesosphere. The middle layer, right? The word meso itself stands for, beta, mesosphere. ठीक है, one striking feature, okay, pay attention to that. One striking feature of this mesosphere is what, beta? The meteors, right? Only one thing I was just checking. Other than that, do we have anything? No. Meteoroids, what? Burn here. Coming from space, burn here due to friction. Due to what? Due to friction. Here also, with the increase in altitude, the temperature decreases. ठीक है, increase in altitude, the temperature decreases. And then the next one, that is thermosphere. That is what, beta? Thermosphere. Okay, this is the layer. With the increase in altitude, the temperature also increases. Why? Because of the presence of iron, and hence it is also known as ionosphere. Hence it is also known as, beta, what? Ionosphere. One thing to remember from this layer is about northern lights and southern lights. Northern and southern lights. ठीक है, which is also known as the phenomena of auroras. And the last but not the least, that is exosphere. Okay, exosphere मतलब exit from the atmosphere. ठीक है, exit from the atmosphere and merges with the universe. Here it contains some of the light gases. Some of what, beta? Light gases. And what are those light gases? Hydrogen and helium. Hydrogen and helium. You know that I often get the comments of the students, ma'am, why are you repeating so much in the class? We want quick lectures and all that. Because, beta, I want the sessions in a way that we both are learning together. It should not be in a way that just me, I am just a single person talking to myself. We studied a topic, we saw the detailed description about it, and we recalled it. I want, when I am recalling the things, you are also closing the book and recalling again with me. Because I don't want my students to learn in a way that is just a ratification. Okay. Now coming towards my favorite part, that is question time. So the question time is question number 1. It will be favorite question of your examination. Trust my words. And that will be, beta, draw a well labeled diagram of what? Of structure of atmosphere. ठीक है, of the structure of atmosphere. And this is the first point. Okay, fine, well done. The second point is, beta, right? Write in detail about what, beta? Detail about the structure of atmosphere. And you know that this is for how many marks? Both will be for 5 marks separately, and can also come clubbed together for 5 marks. Along with that, beta, the third variety of question can be, they can separately asked about a single layer. Like the question can only be about, write in detail about the troposphere, right? So here they will ask about 3 important points, because more than that there are no points, and for 3 markers. So separately for each of the layer, you should have how many points, bacha? 3 points. And if you are still facing any issue for the notes, here it is. Here are the points written. I know that it will not be possible for you to write it down along with me, and hence let me tell you a place, right? Let me tell you a place where you can find all of your notes. And what is that place? This place is the Vedantu's page, that is AIO page. The link is again given in the description box. You just need to hit and click the link to avail that. Okay, so would you recommend? By I will recommend it later. Chalo, abhi le lo. ठीक है, I'll recommend it later. Okay, so now coming to this beta, so when you hit the link that is given in the description box, acha, I'll tell you how to get it. So this is our YouTube. You want to go to www.youtube.com, right? You can see this is my video. ठीक है, this is basically our channel, that is Diksha Vedantu CBSE English. Let's directly go to the playlist, because even I want to tell you that beta, all the chapters from NCERT line by line are added in this playlist, so that you don't feel any issues finding any video. For up till now, building blocks is completed, democracy, early human, shaping of earth crust is also done. So moving straight towards how to access the notes beta, you can see the description. When you go to the description, you will find one thing, that is join the free class 9 CBSE course. So we are not going to charge you anything for accessing the notes beta, and hence this course of Vedantu is for 0 rupees, where your master teachers are here. Right, 0 rupees literally. When you buy that course beta, it will look like this. Okay, it will look like this. So how my courses section, it will look like this. You will just click to your course of class 9. Now there is a problem, ma'am, we want the notes. Obviously by CBSE class 9th SST. Can you guys see this? Yes, you guys can see this. So beta, these are all the YouTube lectures which I have uploaded up till now. Like my last lecture was building blocks in economics and the price puzzle. Before that, we have planned market and mixed economy. Before that, we have class 9th complete syllabus. Can you see the option that is class slides below it? Can you see that? Once you click this class slides beta, you will get these type of handmade notes made by me for your lecture. Right? And this is how you can also access what? Access the notes. Okay? Access the notes of the class which we are dealing right now. Yes, these notes exactly same, where everything added by me, handmade, is also attached. No need to worry. Let us go beyond this now. Okay, so what we completed up till now, we started with what is atmosphere, how important it is, what is the composition of atmosphere, and then the most important, that is layers of atmosphere. So much in the mind, and hence we have to test you. Before that, this is how the lights look like, those northern lights and southern lights, which fascinates actually everyone, me also. ठीक है, so beta, the word aurora originates from Latin meaning dawn and morning light. So you are well aware that beta, during the time of like before sunset, there is a period, right? Not before sunset, during the time like before night and between that sunset wala phase, you will see some beautiful colors of the clouds. Dawn. Similarly, you will see that in the morning also. So it is at the time of like dusk also and dawn also. Okay? In the morning time also and the evening time also, you will see that beautiful lights in the clouds. You know that during the morning time, which is known as dawn, it is named after Roman goddess Aurora, the goddess of dawn, and refers to the colorful display of light seen in the sky near the poles. So majorly it is seen in the countries which are near the poles, like some European countries very close to the poles, in some Russian areas very near to the poles. Similarly goes with North America ka bilkul north wala part, and then the south part. So what happens beta here? The solar wind, charged particle emitted by the sun, upon reaching the earth atmosphere, is directed towards the magnetic poles. So there are poles, north pole and south poles. So whatever is the energy, or what we can say, that charged particles emitted by the sun that reaches to the earth, now here get directed toward the magnetic poles, attracted towards by the magnetic poles. These particles interact with different atmospheric gases, and as they are interacting with different gases beta, here different glow, different colors are emitted. Okay, each gas gives you different color. This phenomena is known as aurora borealis in the northern hemisphere and aurora australis in the southern hemisphere. Borealis in the northern hemisphere and australis in the southern hemisphere. So this is what it looks like. I want you to go search, Google more about this northern lights as well as the southern lights and see how those beautiful sky look like during the time it is what? During the time it is aurora. Get it? Okay, done. Chalo. Now coming towards test time after all of these topics. So nearly all the weather phenomena like rainfall, fog, hail occurs in which layer of atmosphere? Option A, stratosphere, B, mesosphere, C, troposphere or D, thermosphere. Acha, by the way, let me tell you, students often get confused between troposphere and thermosphere too. Okay, so don't think beta they are same. Read those words carefully before answering the question. It is troposphere. All the weather conditions occurs in troposphere. Next, why is the stratosphere considered ideal for flying aeroplanes? Why is stratosphere considered ideal for flying aeroplanes? Option A, it has the highest oxygen content by, who said this? Nowhere it is written. By highest oxygen content is present in troposphere which we breathe and we live. This is not correct. It is free of clouds and weather disturbance. Yes, this seems like correct. Okay, so we will keep it in mind because we have to read the rest two options also. We can't make the mistakes just switching it, the question, ticking it, the second option, moving ahead. No, gravity is weakest here. Who told this? Nobody. By it reflects radio waves. No, then what thermosphere is doing? Not at all. So yes, B is the correct answer over here. Moving to next question. Okay, what is the question? In which layer do most meteoroids entering from space burn out? Beta, M for mesosphere, M for meteoroids. Nobody can separate this M from M. Okay, meteoroids and mesosphere. So, in which layer do most of the meteoroids enter from space burns up? And that is M for mesosphere. That is what beta? M for mesosphere. Okay, next one. The auroras, northern and southern lights occur in which layer of the atmosphere? Is it thermosphere, mesosphere, exosphere or troposphere? Nahi bhai, it is thermosphere. ठीक है, auroras मतलब light, light in thermal, thermal मतलब heat, heat and light. Remember it like this. So make the stories when you are learning SST, make it fun, because this is how only possible way we can learn without the process of rectification. You know what is that rectification? Just mugging without having the sense that what we are mugging. Okay, so I hope the questions are over. And here we move to the next. Achha, before moving to this next topic, right? Before moving to this next topic, I want to tell you some features of how actually Earth and the system of sunlight is working. Okay? So beta, we are aware about that Earth is the only planet on which, arey yaar, this Earth does not seems like my Earth. Okay, so Earth is the only planet which have what beta? Which have life. Okay? Which have life. Now, around this Earth, we know what is present. So we know by atmosphere is present, right? The layers of atmosphere is present as we just saw. So now what happens now beta? It works like this. So it works like this. By sunlight is coming. Okay? So this is what, for example, sunlight is coming, right? When sunlight reaches to the Earth's surface, okay? When sunlight reaches to the Earth's surface, here the phenomena that works, okay? Here the phenomena that works is the phenomena of reflection, right? As well as refraction also. But We will learn it through reflection. Okay? With the help of reflection and refraction. So, as you study physics, what happened when light travels, right? When light travels in straight line, okay, then reaches to a plane surface, what happened beta? It reflects back. It reflects back. So the same phenomena is going on. Okay? The same phenomena is going on. The light is coming from sun, it reaches to the earth crust and then it reflects back. Now think about that beta. Think about that. If 100% of the light is coming from the sun and if 100% of the light is reflecting back from the earth, will there be what? Will there be hotness or coldness present on the earth? Nahi. Then what it is making possible that life is there? What it is making possible that some amount of heat is absorbed on the earth. So beta, some amount of heat is absorbed on the earth because of atmosphere only. Okay? Because of atmosphere only. These layers of atmosphere which contain certain gases, which contain certain dust particles as well as bacha, certain water vapors. What happened? Because of them beta, it absorbs some amount of heat. Okay? Some amount of heat. And the rest is reflected back. The area which is closer to the sun will absorb more amount of heat. The area that is far, like North Pole and South Pole, will absorb less amount of heat. Because actually, because of its distance and the slanting direction, the heat already reaches low. Okay? So whenever there is direct approach of the sun, more heat, indirect rays are moving with the slanting height, what will happen? Less heat. You know that beta, the amount of heat, right? The amount of heat that is absorbed by the earth crust is known as insolation. It is known as insolation. Insolation, the amount of heat that is known as insolation, and the rest is reflected back. I still remember, right? I still remember when I was in like the one thing which I will regret in my life was neglecting NCERT during the time when I was studying in class 9th and class 10. You know, my dear students, I not in class 9th, even I was not interested in class 6th also to study SST. And irony is I am SST teacher right now. So I will tell you one incident. What happened? We were sitting in a geography class in UPSC when we were preparing about that. And our geography teacher asked us one single question. What is insolation? You know that I still remember I was the single student in the class who was not aware about these concepts. Why? Because my basics were, what I can say, hell destroyed. You know, my basics are very important, bacha, very, very important. And that day what I felt in the class was really bad. I came back and learned geography in a way that nobody can crack it now. Okay, I tried, by the way. I don't know everything about geography. Otherwise, there will be random questions in my class. Ma'am, tell this, ma'am, tell that. You said that you are so much good in geography. But I tried at least. And it is a very lovable subject. Okay? So coming back to this topic, there are certain basics which we sometimes missed. And this is how it works. And this is how it works. Beta, some amount of heat is observed. And hence it is always said that because of atmosphere. Okay? Because of atmosphere, Earth is a unique planet. Oh, getting my point? Right? Let's study more and understand that in deeper. Now coming towards the next thing, that is weather and climate. Beta, this atmosphere that is present around us affect a lot, right? One among that is creating a weather for us or a climate for us. Okay? So there might be times when you notice one thing in your surrounding, right? When you are living in a city, a big city, most probably, I'm not talking about small villages because that area is very small, but you are living in cities. You might be going to coaching, you might be going to your tuition, and you saw that outside it is heavily raining. right? You called your tuition teacher, bhai, I can't come because it is heavily raining today, let's take off. And your tuition teacher is, oh my god, don't lie, I live in the same city and there is no rainfall over here. Does this happens with you? So beta, that time you understand that bhai, it is raining in one region but not raining in another region. It is a rainy day for you but not for your tuition teacher. How come possible? This is because of weather. This is because of what beta? Weather, right? There are variations in rainfall, in temperature, in humidity over small region in a short period of time, and that concept is known as weather. Is it going to rain today? What is the question? Is it going to rain today? Will be bright and sunny day today? Or you often find yourself wondering about these questions when you want to go out and play, obviously. Right, in Bangalore particularly, I felt that whenever I plan my day in a way that I will be out from the office early and will go for shopping or for roaming outside in the city, what happened? Obviously at 6 o'clock there will be rain. And on the day, especially when we made plans. So beta, what are these short-term change in the atmosphere? You know that the short-term change in the atmosphere is known as weather. So what is weather? Beta, it is the atmospheric conditions, right? Atmospheric conditions in which there are hour to hour, day to day changes. So what is weather? Once again, it refers to hour and hour, day to day conditions of the atmosphere, hot or humid weather, right? May make humidity sometimes. During the summer days, it is very hot and more like, I think that humidity is actually more irritating. But does it remains throughout the year? No. On some days and particularly on some time of the day, it happens to you, right? But rather there may be pleasant or breezy weather sometimes, right? Where you are very cheerful and not irritating. So weather can vary slightly from day to day. In the morning when you wake up, you can see that bright sunshine. But as the time evening arises, you will see high rainfall. So the change in that atmospheric condition in short period of time, in short region, small region is known as weather. Right? But now let us come towards climate, right? We often heard this word beta, climate. Now what is climate? By climate is the atmospheric condition of a place over a longer period of time. Over a longer period of time, like let me tell you example. Why will India shift from the location it is right now? No ma'am, not possible. For some millions of years it is not possible, and then the plate tectonics can happen. So what happened, beta? Because India lies in which region? Tropical and subtropical region, right? Do you know about that? Tropical and subtropical region. What do we call it? The climate here is tropical and subtropical. Can we change it over years, like that India moved towards pole someday and then there was a cold weather? Nahi bhai, no, not at all possible. So here beta, the climate is the atmospheric condition for a long period of time, or we can say that it is the average of all the weather conditions. Right? If someone asks you how is the atmosphere throughout the year in India, you should have some average calculation for that. That is known as climate. Okay? It do not change over a period of time, like it can change from around 30 years, 40 years, 50 years and more, but not less than that. Not in a single day like weather, not in a single hour like weather. Get it? You know that one question, mark my words when I say that one question that is going to come in your exam for sure. What is that? I know you guys have judged it. Okay? By the way, I am pretty sure that you have judged this. Write the difference between weather and climate. You need not to write because I have written for you. So, very important question. For how many marks, beta? For 3 marks. I don't know why I wrote number 3, but yes. And what is the question? Write the difference between. Okay? Write the difference between what? Between weather and climate. Weather and climate. We will start with first point here with weather. So it refers to hour and day-to-day change in the atmospheric conditions. Like in the morning it was raining, now it is not. However, climate refers to average weather condition of a place over a longer period of time. ठीक है. Second point, it can change from day to day, but it cannot change from day to day. It average needs 30 years or beyond to get changed. ठीक है बेटा. It is hot and humid in a day. It makes you feel irritable. Whenever there is pleasant or breezy weather, you feel cheering. However, here it is not possible that your mood changes in small period of time. It refers to sum total of all the weather conditions and variations over a longer period of time. You can end it up by writing examples too. You can end it up by writing the examples too. ठीक है? I am giving you a time to pause the video right now for some around 5 minutes. The task is to learn this difference between weather and climate. Try to write it in your copy. Do it right away and then start watching it again. A task from me right now. Okay, chalo. So, now I hope that you guys have come back after pausing the video. I'm just assuming that you hear me and you actually follow me. Next important topic is beta elements of weather and climate. What is the next important topic? That is elements of weather and climate. By today, it is a rainy day. Okay? Today, there are very strong winds. In the northern parts of India, in Delhi, Haryana, Punjab, we are facing loo, right? In the coastal region, today there were strong winds due to which high tides have been witnessed. There was heavy rain, flood occurred in some region. Today, it is very high temperature and the temperature has crossed all its records. Did you heard the statement? Yes, we all have heard these statements, beta, in the news, in the newspaper, by our parents or even by our experiences also. Someday we find that today the temperature is very high. Okay? Someday we feel that the nights are very cold. Someday we feel that it is breezy weather, right? The winds are moving so fast and that too with low humidity, it feels good that day. There are times when you feel like, arey yaar, let's go on a long trip, right? There are times you desire for road trips. All those occurs because of the atmospheric conditions, right? That atmospheric conditions decide the weather as well as the climate of the region. Again, it decides what? The weather as well as the climate of the region, beta. But right, the hotness of a place, the coldness of the place, that windy, breezy wind, all of them depends on certain elements listed here, which we will be learning very nicely. Okay? All the elements are listed here. First one is temperature. First one is what, my dear students? Temperature. What is temperature? If someone asks you, you will think like this and think, beta, what is the definition of temperature? Beta, the degree of hotness or coldness of the air at a given time or place is known as temperature. Like it may often happen with you to increase the AC temperature or decrease it. That makes so confused, right? Some people are calling it increase the temperature and you're like, should I increase the temperature? What do you want? You want more hotness or coldness? So, the hotness, the level of hotness or the coldness at a given time, at a given place is actually known as temperature. Okay? Next element is humidity. Right? By humidity defines a lot of things. First, we will learn what humidity is. So, beta, humidity is amount of water vapor present in the air. Amount of what? Water vapor present in the air. Since childhood, you are learning that water cycle. You draw that in your exam a lot of times that even you are fed up of drawing that water cycle. But you know that, beta, the water available in the what? Surroundings, because of the heat coming from the sun rays, what happened? That water evaporates and change in its form. From liquid, it gets transformed to gaseous form. And what is that known as? Water vapors. Arey bhai, where are those vapors? They are in the layer of atmosphere. So beta, the amount of water vapor present in the atmosphere defines humidity. Whenever there is high amount of water vapors, humidity is more. You know that the humid places are actually bad, right? It feels sticky. There are a lot of times when you feel like, bhai, there's sticky, there is always pasina in our body, right? Sweat in our body. How does it comes? Because of the presence of water vapors in the atmosphere. In the coastal belt, particularly like Mumbai, it is often said that the temperature there is so high, and hence beta, humidity is high because it is surrounded by oceans and there are more vapors in the atmosphere. More vapors in what beta? Atmosphere. ठीक है? Then come the next element, that is precipitation. By water or any of its form, it can be snow, it can be hail, that is coming from clouds to the earth surface is known as precipitation. So precipitation is the rechange of the form of water. So that water that evaporated to form the clouds now again becomes in the form of liquid beta. That is process is known as precipitation. Next one, that is atmospheric pressure. What is this by? Atmospheric pressure. Ma'am, pressure do we know? But is it that atmosphere is applying pressure on us? Yes, the atmosphere is applying pressure on us. But why don't we feel it? Because you know that our body is applying the pressure in reverse. Yes. But first understand what is atmospheric pressure. Beta, anything that have volume. Anything that have volume or weight applies the pressure because of its weight. So, we have a blanket of air around us which contains vapors, water vapors, gases as well as dust particles. Because of their weight, right? Because of their weight and the force of gravity applied by earth, beta, they are moving southward. They are moving towards the earth on which we are living. And hence the pressure is applied on us. That pressure is known as atmospheric pressure. That pressure is known as what, my dear student? Atmospheric pressure. Clear? Crystal clear. I want this concept to be crystal clear in your mind. And the last but not the least is that wind, right? Like you guys can see fan moving. You guys can see that the leaves of the trees are moving. How it is possible? Because the blanket of air around us is also moving. And that moving air is known as wind. Right? But these are so easy concepts, so easy words. But if someone asks you the question, what is temperature? You feel like how to define it. What is wind? You always feel like, अरे क्या बोले? Why? Wind is actually the movement of air from one place to another. Atmospheric pressure is the force exerted by the weight of the air above the earth's surface, right? What is precipitation? Any form of water that falls from the atmosphere to the earth's surface like snow, rain, sleet or hail. Right? Let's come towards humidity. The amount of water vapor that is present in the air is known as humidity. And what is temperature? The degree of hotness as well as coldness is known as what, beta? Temperature. Now we will move to how each of these elements affect India. Right? How each of these elements, beta, affect what? Affects India. Mark my word over here. Okay, so now we will learn about the first element that affects what? That affects India. But before that, we have a question suddenly in front of us. Okay, no worries. It is just to make you feel light before moving to the tough concepts. Okay, question says, the climate refers to average weather conditions of a place recorded over the period of usually what? Over the period of 1 year, 5 years, 30 years or more, or 1 month. By very easy, we just learned this, 30 years or more. Okay, moving straight to the concept which we was about to start. The elements of weather and climate. The elements of weather and climate. The first element is beta, temperature. The first element is temperature. Please take out your NCERTs and mark what I say. So it says that the temperature of the atmosphere varies not only between day and night but also across season, just as summer tends to be hotter than winter. Right? We are learning this since childhood that you will often feel beta the morning time are cold than the afternoon times, and even the night times are colder than that. Right? So there is change in the degree of hotness and coldness in a day. Not only in a day, by that actually happens in a season. Whenever there is summer season in India, you will feel extreme hotness. Winter season, extreme coldness. Twists vary from day to day as well as from season to season. But how is this changes happening? Because this is happening because of a concept that is insolation. The amount of heat, beta, the amount of heat that is absorbed on the earth is known as insolation. I just told you. Okay? The amount of insolation decreases from equator towards the pole. We are even aware about this concept. Beta, as we move upward, okay, the direct rays of sunlight cannot reach there, and hence beta, the impact of it also reduces while we move towards the pole. So the amount of insolation that is present in equatorial region or the tropical region, right, is more in comparison to the poles. Hence the temperature decreases from what, beta? Decreases from equator towards the pole. Can you please see this picture of earth given, which we are learning from class 6. So beta, to make our understanding better, the great men of all the time who learned geography actually, right, made these imaginary lines on the earth. Okay? Divided the earth into two equal halves, northern half and southern half, with a line at 0 degree of the sum of this circle that is known as equator. So as you study in maths, beta, to study about the circle, you point the center point that is 0 degree, 0 line, right, isn't it? Then x-axis and y-axis, and learn more about the metrics there. Similarly, to learn about the earth, we draw a line at the center of the earth, that is equator, dividing earth into two equal halves, northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere. Right? Then we moved beyond and saw that there is change in temperature and everything over a time, and that is beta, this line that is known as Tropic of Cancer, 23.5 degree north, right? Similarly, we have Tropic of Capricorn in the south. So beta, it is said that the sun's direct light reaches between Tropic of Cancer to Tropic of Capricorn. Okay, it reaches between Tropic of Cancer to Tropic of Capricorn. Now, as we are aware that beta, the earth has a slant, what we can say, the earth is tilted, right? The earth is tilted. So now what happened? There is a time that the direct sun rays of the sun reaches to Tropic of Capricorn. Why? Because it was tilted this side. Let me tell you. So this is sun, okay? And this is earth. So here what happened? The earth was tilted like this. Earth is tilted like this. So the direct sun rays this time reaches Tropic of Capricorn. When it happens, beta, here it is summer season. Where? Summer season in southern hemisphere, but winter season in northern hemisphere. Why? Because the sunlight reaches Tropic of Cancer, but the light is not that impactful because the slanting light is there. The distance also increases, and hence the impact of heat reduces. When it moves towards the pole further, the temperature decreases. This is what actually happens. Now, you know that by Earth is rotating on its own axis and well as revolution too. So there will be a time, right? There will be a time when it get half revolved. What happens? It will be along with rotation and revolve, the sun will directly hit the Tropic of Cancer. Okay? So once it is like this, the other time it can be like this. Okay? This time the direct sunlight reaches to Tropic of Cancer. Okay, and here in northern hemisphere there will be summer season, and in winter comes the in the southern comes the winter season. By this phenomena is something you learned since childhood. Moving towards what we have to understand, beta, the heat that is coming from sun actually impacts the temperature of a place, right? Temperature of a place. Because of this temperature, we have just created zones. Like the zone where direct sunlight reaches, this is popularly known as torrid zone, and it is between Tropic of Cancer to Tropic of Capricorn. Beyond that, beta, between Tropic of Cancer to Arctic Circle in the north, between Tropic of Capricorn to Antarctic Circle in the south, this is known as temperate zone. This is known as temperate zone, right? That means the temperature here comparatively decreases from the torrid zone, obviously. As we reaches to the pole, beta, the temperature extremely drops because of the distance of the sun from the poles, right? Because of the slanting sunlight, and this is known as frigid zone. We have heard that, beta, in the poles it is often what? In the poles it is often, beta, what? Daytime for 6 months, however, night time for the rest 6 months. Think about it, living in a place there is night all time 6 months. It sounds interesting, but living there is not. Okay? And this is how the first element of temperature affects the weather of climate. Okay, beta, the degree of temperature, the degree of insolation affects what? That it is a hot day, humid day, or a cold day. Hot season or a cold season. Winter season or the summer season. Okay, the first element clear in your mind? I hope that it is clear and no doubt remains. The second is humidity. Again, you will pick up your NCERT and underline the keywords with me. So, next is, beta, the second one, that is humidity, right? Now, what is humidity? We often get irritated on the humid days. By humidity is the amount of water vapor that is present in the atmosphere. How does it reach there? Right? Beta, it reach there with the process of evaporation. So when water evaporates from land and different water body, it becomes water vapor. It becomes what, beta? Water vapor. When the level or the amount of water vapor in the air is high, it tends to be more humid, or it is known as humidity. Tends to be more humid, or it is known as humidity, and hence we refer it as presence of water vapors in the air creating moisture. Creating moisture. We have one more interesting concept aligned with humidity, and what is that, beta? It is, as the air gets warmer, its capacity to hold water vapor increases, leading to high humidity level. On such a days, clothes take longer to dry and sweat evaporates more slowly, leaving us feel very, very uncomfortable. So what happened now? Let us understand that. So there is a time when there is summer season. Okay? There is a time when there is summer season. What happened, beta? During the time there is summer season, there is high evaporation. High evaporation. Okay? High evaporation. But as the temperature is very, very high, beta, right, the warm air will rises up. The warm air will rises up and forms the cloud. But what happened, right, as the air gets warmer, okay, often it happens when the air gets warmer, right, its capacity to hold moisture increases. Its capacity to hold moisture increases. So basically because of the high temperature, okay, there will be more evaporation. Whenever the air becomes warm, very warm, right, air becomes warm, its capacity to hold that moisture increases, and that time, beta, humidity too increases. And there will be days when you feel that, okay, when you feel that because beta, lot of water vapors are there in atmosphere, your clothes will not dry in that speed. right? You will feel that sweat is still on your body and it is not getting evaporated. Why? Because beta, lot of water vapors is already there in the atmosphere, and hence the capacity to convert water into vapors slows down. Okay, slows down. Getting my point? And this is known as humidity. This is known as humidity. Because of humidity and temperature happens what? Precipitation. Happens what, beta? Precipitation. So beta, what happens na? Because of temperature when it is high. Okay? So just after the summer we have rainy season. Why? Because whenever the temperature is high, beta, warm air rises up. Achha, now you might be thinking, ma'am, tell us any example. By whenever we fill that bucket in the winter from hot water. Right? So what happened now? First we open the tap of cold water, then open the tap of warm water and try to mix it. But suddenly what happens? You just touch the upper layer of the water and feel, arey, the balance is good. Let me take a bath. And suddenly after 2 mugs, what happened? The cold water is coming. Happens with you, obviously happens with everyone. So beta, similarly the hot water rises up. Here the hot air rises up. Air rises up. Right? Where this air rises up mixed with dust particles, this water vapors along like this. See, when the temperature is high, the air rises up. Okay? Here one more process is going on, that is evaporation. Now what is evaporation? This water is converting into what? Water vapor. So when the air rises up, water vapor also rises upwards, and this water vapors leads to the formation of clouds mixing with dust particles and all. So beta, what happened? There will be a time come, right? A time will come when this capacity, right? When this capacity to hold moisture, right? Capacity to hold moisture decreases, or what we can say that it reaches the dew point that no more water vapor can be added in the atmosphere. While lot of water vapors are like collected and lot of clouds are formed, now no more water vapor is able to hold by the atmosphere. What will happen, beta? A dew point will reach, and finally this cloud will start bursting into the form of rain, snow, sleet or hail according to the places. So now what is precipitation? I hope that that's easy, but still I am explaining that in detail. So it occurs when a part of the atmosphere becomes saturated. Now saturated is, yes, that dew point when no more water vapors can be added, right? Which condenses and precipitates or falls on the earth due to gravity. It includes drizzling, it includes rainfall, snow, sleet and hail. We will see what is drizzling, snow, sleet and hail, difference of all. Okay? The main factor that affects precipitation includes winds, mountains and seasons. Okay, when precipitation falls on earth in liquid form, it is known as rain. Rain is the most common form of precipitation. We know that. Okay, whenever there will be long absence of rainfall, beta, it results in dry climate, as we see in the Thar desert in India. Most of the groundwater is collected from the rain. What drain? नाली से थोड़ी ना लाएंगे पानी. चलो, get it? Okay. अरे यार, where is that picture? Oh my God, I added that picture of rain, snow, sleet and everything. It went somewhere. Okay, here it is. अरे यार, what is happening with me? Okay, so this is drizzling. Drizzling means whenever we wake up early in the morning, the light precipitation that we can see, the light, tiny light rainfall, that is drizzling. Okay? Again, the rainfall is like water droplets, proper big water droplets. Snow, frozen water crystals. Then we have sleet. So ice pulls, ice balls, chotu ice balls you can see sometimes falling. That is sleet. And then the freezing rain, that is hail. Okay, rain that freezes on contact with cold surface forming a layer of ice. Sorry. So this is bit of freezing rain. What happened na? When the water falls in a place where already there is very much cold. So that water always converts into solid form. That is known as freezing rain, a layer of ice. Okay? After reaching to that cold portion. So this is what beta? Precipitation. Again moving to the next element, what is done? Temperature, humidity, precipitation. Now this is atmospheric pressure. What is atmospheric pressure? I just told you that we living on the earth's surface as well as every element on the earth's surface is pressurized by the atmosphere around us. Pressurized means not to pressurize like आज पढ़ लो नहीं तो पड़ेगी बेटा, not like that. The pressure or the force that is exerted by the volume of the air. So beta, this is earth crust, ठीक है, and there is a layer of atmosphere. This layer of atmosphere contains a lot of things, like it contains gases, ठीक है, it contains vapors, it contains dust particles. All those have a weight, a volume, right? And because of which there is a continuous force exerted on earth, right? It is applied towards the earth because of the gravitational pull of the earth, because of the gravitational pull of the earth. But now the question is humans, right? As continuously a force is applied on us, why can't we feel it? Why are we not feeling any force applied on us? Because similar such force is present inside our body also, beta. So, an force is force inserted by atmosphere and a human force exerted by humans null and void this force. So, for example, the force is 5 in number, just a random I am taking, okay? It becomes what beta? It becomes 0. So, counter force is there in response from the human body and hence beta we don't feel that pressure. But you know that atmospheric pressure creates an impact on our day-to-day weather and climatic conditions. Let's learn about them. Open the NCERT, read it nicely. So the pressure exerted by the weight on the earth's surface is known as air pressure. ठीक है? As we go higher in the atmosphere, the pressure falls rapidly. Why? Because when we move high with altitude in the layers of atmosphere, as we just studied, what happened? The elements, the gases, their volume decreases. Arey bhai, when the volume decreases, the pressure will eventually decrease. The pressure will eventually decrease. So it is highest at sea level and decreases with the altitude. As we move beyond, it decreases. Horizontally, now we were talking up till now vertically, that as we go upwards, ठीक है, as we go upwards with the height beta, what happened? The pressure applied by the atmosphere, popularly known as atmospheric pressure, decreases. It decreases. But now the question is, what happens horizontally? What happens horizontally? So yes, there is a difference, because horizontally every place on the earth do not have same temperature, do not have same humidity, right? The distribution is affected on the temperature of a place, on the temperature of a given place, right? The areas which have high temperature will have low pressure. And how is that possible? Yes, beta, there is an, right? There is an inverse relationship, right? There is an inverse relationship between temperature and pressure. ठीक है? Inverse relationship between temperature and pressure, I will tell you very nicely, right? Again, take the example of that bucket that you fill, right? A bucket that you fill, right? What will happen, beta? Then you mix hot water and cold water. You will find that hot water is lying at the top and the cold one goes down. ठीक है? So what happened? Here, beta, the temperature is high, right? The temperature is high, the water rises up. The water rises up, right? But how does this happen? Let me tell you this with the help of air. With the help of air. So consider this is a place A. ठीक है? This is a place A and this is a place B. This is what, bacha? A place B. right? This is a place A and this is a place B. So, beta, there was direct sunlight in this place A, right? And hence, here it is high temperature. Very nicely, you have to understand this. Here it is, bacha, high temperature. Now, in the high temperature, what will happen? Water present in this area will evaporate. ठीक है? Will evaporate. By as this, right? You know that beta volume is provided to air by all those gases, all those water vapors. When water vapor evaporates, you know that the air of that place becomes what, beta? Light. Right? Whenever that air of the place becomes rise, it rises up. It starts moving northward. So, because of the high temperature, the volume of the air becomes light and the air rises up. Okay? Rises up. By the same air which was near the earth's surface applying pressure now rises up in opposite direction. What will happen? Obviously, beta, the atmospheric pressure of this place, right? The atmospheric pressure of this place, beta, what? High temperature, low atmospheric pressure, that means decreases. By the air rises up, now the pressure is less on the earth's surface. Okay? And in the situation which is quite opposite of this, whenever there is low temperature, all that water vapor is in the air itself, close to the earth's surface. Now what will happen, beta? The air will not rises up, low temperature, there will be high atmospheric pressure. High atmospheric pressure. And do you know that what happened, beta? Now, see, here all like air is present. Why? Air is present near the earth crust because beta there is low temperature and high pressure applied on the earth surface. There is a golden rule, and rule is that beta the wind moves from high pressure to low pressure. The rule is that the wind moves from high pressure to low. Why? Because here air was present, but here the air rise up and hence a vacant place was found here. To fill that vacant place, beta, the air started moving from high pressure to low pressure area. Okay? Again this will rise up and the cycle goes on and on and on and on, and this is how sometimes the circulation of air happens. I hope I did justice to this topic because I want each of my student to understand this. Okay? You might be feeling that, ma'am, you're making it more difficult, but beta, these are the concepts we have to understand because our next element is wind. What is the next element here? Wind. The movement of air from high pressure to low pressure. Now you know why wind moves from high pressure to low pressure. Do you know that? Obviously, yes. So yes, the movement of air from high pressure to low pressure area is known as wind. It can be gentle or can be strong. It can be gentle and sometimes it can be like dust storms all over. It happens now, there are days when the moisture is low, the wind is like moving with high speed because no disturbance is there, and our mothers are complaining, every day I just clean my house and this wind come inside bringing the dust particles, isn't it? Yes. So you can observe the flow of wind and it blow dry leaves down to the pavement, gentle blow away dust particles or uproot trees during the storm, or that flying hairs of heroine in Shah Rukh Khan's movie from where I started the lecture. These are the evidences that yes, air is moving, air is present. Okay, so yes, the circulation I just explained you. Yeah, this is high pressure belt, this is low pressure belt. Winds move from high pressure to low pressure. It is caused by air flowing from high pressure to low pressure. The direction is also influenced by Earth's rotation. This I will tell you in the topic monsoon. So keep all your concepts in the mind. Winds moving from high pressure to low pressure, affected by Earth's rotation. From here, a law a force also applies. So before moving to the next topic, I want you all to revise what we studied, otherwise everything will be a khichdi in your mind. So what we studied, beta, the difference between weather and climate. We started from the topic that is weather and climate. By day-to-day atmospheric change is known as weather, right? Year to year, no change for long years. The same atmospheric condition, or what we can say average of all the weather conditions, is known as climate. After that, we studied a topic that is elements of, right? Elements of weather and climate. Weather and climate. So there are 5 elements of weather and climate. 5 elements of weather and climate that actually affect our atmosphere. Number 1 is temperature. Okay, everyone remember that? Very good. The second is humidity. The amount of water vapors present in the atmosphere is humidity. The third is bacha, atmospheric pressure. Okay, the third is atmospheric pressure. Then we have one more, that is precipitation. Precipitation, okay. And the last but not the least, that is the role of the winds. Okay? How the question will come from this topic, beta? Question will come for 5 marks sure. Right? For 5 marks sure, explain how the elements of weather and climate impacts our atmospheric conditions. So these are the 5 headings that you have to write. If you are thinking that ma'am, we need to write everything, it is not possible. Beta, you have to write around some 2 to 3 important points from each of the paragraph. Right? From each of the paragraph, I just told you. Done? Happy with this? Chalo, very good. So we learn very important topics. Now moving towards one more important topics, that is land breeze and sea breeze. Bhai, what is this? What is this confusion? Call it one breeze, na? What is this land breeze and sea breeze? So beta, it differs because of these phenomena. Because of the phenomena of temperature, because of the phenomena of the warmth of an area. Now you might have noticed that during the summer days, now still in the evening when the sun is not there, when you are walking, you can feel like that the warm air is near your legs. Right? It was happening when I was in Indore, right? When I was riding the scooty, I can feel that air is warm near the legs. Isn't it? Why, beta? Because land stays what? Warm for a long period of time. Is it? Achha, when we compare it with water, will it get cold early than land? Is it? So all these concepts are here. Okay? Land breeze and sea breeze. So beta, wind is what? Wind is the moving air. Moving air from one place to another. Arey bhai, that place can be land area also, that place can be water area also, and there is a huge difference between the warmth of the land as well as the water. Right? Didn't you just notice that the people says that because we are living near the oceans, we have pleasant weather conditions, right? Isn't it? Like people living in Rajasthan where there is no vegetation and all land, and they says that bhai, there is so much of hotness there. So yes, there is difference in the degree of hotness and coldness in both land and sea. So we will talk about the first phenomena, that is the sea breeze. First we will about sea breeze. Beta, one thing that you have to keep in your mind is that which breeze? Sea breeze. Which breeze? Sea breeze. And hence the wind is moving from sea to land. Okay? Which breeze? Land breeze. And hence the wind is moving from land to sea. One clear thing, don't get confused. So it is a local wind that blows from sea to land during the day. Arey, why day only? Why day only? So it is the local wind that blows from sea to land during the day. Beta, during the day when sun is overhead. Okay? The sun is overhead. The property of land is that it becomes heated soon. Okay? It becomes heated soon. So because of that, there is high temperature over what? High temperature, bachcha, over what? High temperature over the land. However, comparatively, here is low temperature. Okay? And because of that, it creates low pressure area over the land and high pressure area over the sea. And wind always move from high pressure to low pressure. High pressure to low pressure. So come again, it is a local wind that blows from sea to land during the day, especially in the afternoon when the land becomes relatively warmer than the sea. This results in the formation of low pressure region over the land, and so the wind starts moving from the sea from high pressure to low pressure. Clear? By if, right? Imagine if I did not tell you that last topic about high pressure and low pressure, how difficult this might be. Now it is not, by the way. Coming towards land breeze, now what happens? Now the situation gets reversed during the night times. Why, beta? Because, pay attention, it is local wind that blows from land to sea now during the night. Why the winds are moving from land to sea during the night, resulting from different surface cooling between the land and the sea. What happens na beta? This land has a nature, okay? This land has a nature that it warms very quickly, right, during the day, but in comparison to the sea, beta, it gets cooler also very quickly. So land has this relative heat wali property to get warm very quickly and to get cool down very quickly. But in comparison, the sea take times to warm and then cools down very slowly. So land cools faster than the sea at night, since the difference is like that. Now beta, as it cools down in the night, that means low temperature, high pressure. The wind moves from, wind moves from high pressure to low pressure. Next day in the morning, the condition will become reverse. So the night wala is known as land breeze, okay? And the day wala is known as beta sea breeze. The same such happens in the valley also. Pata hai, mountains and valleys, at the top of the mountains and the valleys too. So yes, it happens. Question time. Bye. Take a break. Take a long breathe, because you know you have successfully completed all the major topics of this chapter. Yes. All the major topics, and that too very nicely. Come on, let's learn about this. A sea breeze blows from sea to land, okay, during the day, because sea to land during the day, because land cools faster than the sea, creating high pressure over the land. Okay, why it is sea breeze? Okay, pay attention, it is sea breeze, so it is moving from sea to land, and this is during daytime. So during daytime, what happens with the land, beta? Land, bhai, during the daytime temperature is high, so it creates what? Low pressure. Now read it again. Lands cool fast. It do not cool fast, but it warms, creating a high pressure. No, land heats faster than the sea, creating low pressure over. Yes, so B is the correct one. Okay, B is the correct one. We will read the other also. The sea is always warmer than the land. No. The earth's rotation pushes air towards the land. By no. Okay. Done? Great. Chalo. Next. Okay. Before next question. Okay, next, it is not the next question. Actually, it is the next topic. That is seasons in India. By the way, what if I tell you that there are 6 seasons in India? You will be amazed, because up till now we only know about 4. So yes, there are 4 major seasons in India. However, the ancient text of India says or tells us a different story. We will learn about that. Coming towards the season of India, beta, the climate of India is broadly classified as tropical. Why tropical? Because Tropic of Cancer passes from the center of India, dividing it into 2 parts. Okay, and hence we call the climate of India as the tropical climate. Okay. Because of this tropical climate, we are aware about that. Consider this is the earth. Arey bhai. Consider, so we will remake it. So consider this is earth. Okay. Equator passes from the middle, dividing Earth into two parts. Similarly, at 23.5 degree north passes Tropic of Cancer. You know that India's location is somewhere in a way that I'll just draw a rough map of India. I can't draw very accurate because it's so small. So it is somewhere that Tropic of Cancer passes from the middle of India in this way. And hence, beta, as this zone is known as tropical zone, we call it as tropical monsoon of the tropical climate. Okay? The Indian Meteorological Department claims that there are 4 seasons in India. We will start with the first one, that is winter season. First one, that is winter season. So, beta, as we are in the northern hemisphere of the earth, beta, the winter season happens in the northern hemisphere when the sun is at Tropic of Capricorn. So here the winter season gradually starts from December to early April. The coldest month of the year are December and January, for obviously. The average temperature in the northwest is around 10 to 15 degrees Celsius. However, the temperature increases towards the equator. So, as we reach to the equator from north to south, beta, the north to south, the temperature obviously increases because we become close to the sun. Okay? So from north to south, as we move in the winter season, the temperature increases. Not only in the winter season, in summer also. Okay? The next is summer season or pre-monsoon time. By the summer season is from April to June, everyone face it. Extreme hotness is there in the northern part of India. In the western and central region, the hottest month is April. In the northern, it is May. Okay? The average temperature across most of the inland India part is 32 to 40 degrees Celsius. The next is monsoon or the rainy season by July, June, August, September. These are the months where we feel what, beta? Monsoon. Acha, the monsoon at this time is known as advancing monsoon. Why? We will tell. The season is dominated by humid southwest summer monsoon. So the wind coming from the southwest region. Again, just keep that words in your mind. I will explain that to you. So which slowly sweeps away the country in late May and early June. Monsoon rain begins to recede from northern India at the beginning of October. So it come back at the time of October. The first place to receive rainfall in mainland India is Kerala. Okay? पहले तो वैसे तो it's South India, but South India में भी in particular it's Kerala. Then post monsoon, beta. So yes, in some of the places of India, beta, in the winter season also we see the rain showers. This monsoon is known as retreating monsoon, reoccurring monsoon. Okay? The post-monsoon season lasts from October to December and it is caused due to northwestern parts of India. Matlab, the winds coming from northwestern parts of India. Okay? One more thing, the Himalayan states being more temperate exercise these 2 additional monsoons too. Which 2 additional monsoons, beta? Those are listed as per the Indian ancient text, that is autumn and spring. So my dear student, there is one problem in us that we don't learn something that belongs to India. I am pretty sure not even 1% of the students might be aware about those months according to Hindu calendar, because for a long period of time even I was not the one who remembered them all. Okay? Because we are totally dependent upon the Greek calendar or as the English studies that we are doing since childhood. That's not our mistake. So here comes the calendar, beta. India, na, let me tell you about the ancient text which clearly had a detailed description about the science, the mathematics, the astronomy, the meteorological things, the summer season, winter season, monsoon season, how does this occur and what happens, why. So you know that according to traditionally India experienced 6 seasons according to our ancient text, and that is about spring, summer, monsoon, early autumn, late autumn and winter. The seasons are based on astronomical divisions of 12 months into 6 parts. So those 12 months are divided into 6 seasons. The traditional Indian calendar also reflects these seasons through its arrangement of month. Like, for example, it is season of Vasant, right? It is season of Vasant basically, summer season. Okay, Chaitra and Vaishak are the 2 months. Chaitra and Vaishak. You know that Chaitra is particular month from wherever Hindu calendar starts. You will see that the Hindu New Year is not 1st of January, obviously. So Chaitra and Vaishak in the month of March and April. Then Grishma, extreme summer season, that is Jesht and Asar. Jesht and Ashar, May and June, Varsha, like right now the season that is going on, Shravan season, and after that it will be Bhadrapada in August. Okay? Sharad, then Ashwin and Kartika, that is September to October, then Hemant, pre what we can say extreme winter. ठीक है, Margashrisha and Posh particularly November December. Shishir, extreme cold, that is Magh and Falgun region. ठीक है, month, sorry. So these are the months according to Gregorian calendar and these are the months according to Indian calendar. I want all of my students to learn those Indian calendars too. By now, ठीक है, up till now you studied summer season, winter season and all that. But now is the important topic, that is monsoon of India. By India experiences a different type of monsoon. It has a special type of monsoon, and why? ठीक है? And from where, first of all, from where does this word monsoon actually comes, right? And what does it means? So beta, the monsoon word actually means what? The what we can say seasonal reversal in the winds. What does it means beta? The seasonal reversal in the winds. Seasonal reversal in the winds. Now you know that what are winds because you studied with me up till now. It is the movement of air from high pressure to low pressure. So isn't it that beta, in India, the high pressure and low pressure is same for the entire year? Nahi bhai. The situation changes as sometimes we have summer season, sometimes we have winter season. The temperature is not same throughout the year and hence the atmospheric pressure will not be. And it is clearly understandable that the winds will reversed. The movement of the winds will revert. That seasonal reversal of wind is known as monsoon. Are bhai, who was the first person who noticed that? You know that beta, India being one of the greatest civilization in the world and later having some of the great empires is known for trading with the rest of the world for long period of time. You know that the Arab people were trading with us. The Arab travelers comes to India for trading and then go back taking the stocks with the ship. So they have figured out that during a particular period of time, the winds from the Arab region are moving towards India. By that time, they choose to travel from Arab to India. And another some months beta, the wind is reversed from India to Arab region and that time they return. And here the word comes from the Arabic word. Here the word comes from the Arabic word that is Mausim. Mausim, which literally means season. What does it means literally beta? Season. Okay? We have two types of monsoon, right? We have two types of monsoon, right? Beta, we have basically monsoon according to us is rainfall, right? That monsoon occurs because of the movement of the winds in two directions. One is one is southwest monsoon, okay? Southwest monsoon. And the other one is northeast monsoon. And the other one is bacha northeast monsoon. Now bhai, what is this? Beta, this southwest monsoon make advancing monsoon possible. Acha, abhi recently we were studying 4 seasons. ठीक है? What is that? Winter season, summer season, monsoon or rainy season, and then post-monsoon season. Do you remember? Now, beta, this advancing monsoon, that is rainy season in India, occurs because of this southwest monsoon. ठीक है? The winter rainfall, ठीक है? The winter rainfall that is popularly known as retreating monsoon occur because of this northeast monsoon. I know you are confused. I know you are thinking, ma'am, what are you all teaching? Just give me a minute and everything will be clear to you. Okay, get it? And I actually need this minute to explain you one of the most difficult concept of geography. You have to stay with me. Now, India, the globe or the earth is divided into two equal halves. With a center line. That is what, bacha? Equator. That is what, bacha? Equator. Okay? So, center line, that is equator. Right? At 23.5 degree, we have Tropic of Cancer. We have what? Tropic of Cancer. Okay? Tropic of Cancer. Then we have here, bacha, Tropic of Capricorn. I am just drawing a rough one to explain you, right? Then we have Arctic Circle, and then we do have beta Antarctic Circle. Okay? Antarctic Circle. Here it is North Pole and here it is South Pole. Acha, pay attention to that. Why we know that? Okay? We know that the direct rays of sunlight reaches from Tropic of Cancer to Tropic of Capricorn. Tropic of Cancer to Tropic of Capricorn. Why? But it can be at single plate at a time. So when beta, the earth is tilted like this, right? There is a little bit tilt. Obviously, we know that earth is not this straight. Rather, the earth is tilted. Tilted how much? 60, it's 23.5 degree. So as we know that earth is tilted, it will not look like as I just draw. Okay? The situation will be somewhere. Arey yaar, wait, I will take this. Okay. So the situation will be somewhere like this. And you are like, ma'am, what are you doing, beta? Yes, I am making some mistakes. Done with the mistakes. I will not make it now. Okay? Okay. So it will rather be like this. How, beta? This is North Pole. This is South Pole. Okay? This is Arctic Circle. This is what? Tropic of Cancer. This is Equator. This is Tropic of Capricorn. And this is your Antarctic Circle. Does it looks like this when it is tilted 23.5 degree towards the sun? So now, by this direct sunlight of the sun reaches to what? Tropic of Cancer. Reaches to what? Tropic of Cancer. And here it is India. Okay? Here it is what, my dear students? India. Why? Pay attention. Very, very important topic this is. Here it is India. So now, bacha, what happens? The condition will be such that because the sunlight directly reaches to India, beta, high temperature belt is here. What here? This is an high temperature zone. Okay? This is an high temperature zone. Now, fix this in your mind. Fix this in your mind because we have to understand one more concept. Now, what is that concept, ma'am? Back towards India. Right? Back towards the earth. Sorry. Equator, Tropic of Cancer, Arctic Circle, Capricorn, Antarctic Circle. Right? Beta, what I am going to tell you is an ideal situation. When sun is directly overhead the equator. Yes, it happens 2 times in a year. Okay, so ideal situation when sun is overhead the equator, here it will be high temperature obviously, and high temperature creates what? Low pressure. We just saw that temperature and pressure have an inverse relation and I'm not going to explain it again. High temperature, air rises up, the atmospheric pressure decreases. Okay? Comparatively at the Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn, there will be low temperature which creates high pressure belt. Getting my point? When you go to the pole region by extreme cold, that means low temperature, high pressure. Low temperature, high pressure. Get it? Now come towards it. By here it is low temperature. Comparatively it will be high temperature here, low pressure. In comparison to the poles. In comparison to the poles, high temperature, low pressure. Just remember the rule, the wind always moves from, ठीक है, wind always moves from beta what, high pressure to low pressure. This is the rule. One more rule that you have to remember is Coriolis force. Why? Because beta the earth is continuously being rotating on its axis, a force is applied on the earth that is known as Coriolis force. This rule is the rule because of which the monsoon of India is defined. You know what? That because of this rule, wind is always, ठीक है, wind is always diverted towards the right in northern hemisphere, towards the right in northern hemisphere, ठीक है. Okay, wind is always diverted towards the right in northern hemisphere and left in southern hemisphere. Now what is this? Why it is this? Why this is the rule? Because of the force, wind is always tilted towards it right and left, right in northern hemisphere and left in southern hemisphere. By I am not meaning here that it will move into its right. No, it will tilt into its right. ठीक है? Now I will tell you and you will understand it like this. So beta, wind always move from high pressure to low pressure. See here it is what bacha? High pressure. Here it is what? High pressure. Here it is what? Low pressure. Don't you feel that wind will move from high pressure to low pressure? High pressure to low pressure. Yes ma'am. High pressure to low pressure. Yes ma'am. High pressure to low press. ठीक है भाई. लेकिन according to this Coriolis force, wind is always tilted towards its right in northern hemisphere. By this is equator. Everything above this is northern hemisphere and the wind will be tilted but moving from where? High pressure to low pressure. High pressure to low pressure. Tilted towards its right. Can you see the tilt toward the right? Yes. When we move in the southern hemisphere, the tilt will be towards the left, but high pressure to low pressure. High pressure to low pressure. Hope this is clear to all my students watching right now. Now, move beyond high pressure to low pressure. Tilt towards the right. Bhai, high pressure here, low pressure. Right में tilt है, right में tilt है. Yes. High pressure to low pressure. Tilt towards the left. ठीक है? This is how it works. This is how it works, beta. This is how it works. High pressure to low pressure. ठीक है? High pressure to low pressure. Right? I just wanted to create a 3D image and hence I did this. Now, this is the golden rule. But what happened in the situation of India during the summer season? During the sun is over the Tropic of Cancer, beta. In this situation, we saw that the sun is overhead the equator. But when summer season happens in India, the sun is overhead what, beta? Tropic of Cancer. Because of that, a low pressure belt creates here. What happens, bacha? The low pressure belt is created here. Right? Acha, here what do I mean? Beta, this entire region of the tropics, a low pressure belt is created. ठीक है? When low pressure belt is created, what happens to the places that are south to it? Because the sun is over Tropic of Cancer, this region particularly will have low temperature comparatively but high pressure. Right? Now you guys know that beta, wind always moves from this is equator, by the way. This is equator. So below equator, it is tilted towards its left. Wind will move from high pressure towards low pressure. So high pressure towards low pressure. High pressure towards low pressure. When this is happening in the extreme peak summer season in India. ठीक है? Winds started to be moving from, because as the condition change, right? See, previously what happened na beta? The sun was at equator. the movement of the wind was likewise. But now suddenly what happened? The condition changed as it sun moved towards Tropic of Cancer, extreme summer season in India. This wind started moving from south to north, right, from high pressure to low pressure. Now as it reached equator, still it is having low pressure area, this entire low pressure area. The wind will move again from high pressure to low pressure, but it will not go like this now. It will not go like this now. Why? Because it is northern hemisphere and wind tilt towards its right, and hence beta, this direction will be changed like this. Direction will be changed like this. Now what is here? Beta, here it is Indian Ocean. ठीक है? Here it is Indian Ocean. Indian Ocean, right? Beta, the wind will carry the moisture from the Indian Ocean and hit the coast of India. Hit the coast of India, making India wet in this rainy season. Get it? This is how the phenomena of rainfall happens in India. One more thing, okay? One more thing that you have to understand is, what is that beta? Arey yaar, where is it? Okay, it is it. So wind coming from what? Wind coming from south. ठीक है, wind is coming from where? South. And from which direction? By this is west. So it is known as southwest winds or southwest monsoonal winds. Monsoonal winds just after the summer, and hence creating what? Or hence creating the, arey yaar, I'm very much irritated by this factor of this pen. This is known as advancing monsoon. Okay, southwest winds bringing what? Moisture along with them, and hence creating advancing monsoon. This is how rainy season happens in India. ठीक है? But ma'am, then how does retreating monsoon happen in India? Why, we will tell that also. ठीक है? So again I am just trying to make a rough map of India. Please leave me if somewhere it is not accurate as per your expectations. Okay, so a rough map of India. ठीक है? Okay, I hope it is fine. So now what I want to tell you is that beta, as you just saw, winds are moving from here, from southwest, ठीक है, coming like this, coming like this, coming like this, from southwest winds. What do we call it beta? Southwest winds. So first of all, at the mainland Kerala it hit, and here Kerala is the first place in the mainland India to receive the rainfall. However, it is Andaman and Nicobar if we take the entire Indian Union. Okay, so the winds go like this, but here comes what beta? Western Ghats. Comes the Western Ghats. Acha, this region, ठीक है, pay attention. This region entirely receives high rainfall because of this southwest monsoon coming, but as Western Ghats, right, create as a disturbance in front of these winds move further, but all the moisture is, like what we can say, loosed here only, and this place becomes the region of high rainfall, rain-fed area. ठीक है? When we move here, wind is moving, but the moisture is lost here only in this region. The wind will move like this. ठीक है? The winds will move like this. Okay. Now, beta, what happens? This wind which loses its moisture in this region will again take the moisture from Bay of Bengal. And what happens, beta? It will lose the moisture in northwestern parts of India. Why? Because again there is a boundary here, that is Himalayas. ठीक है. After that, the direction becomes like this. The direction becomes like this. So this is how the direction and the way by which India receives the rainfall throughout the year. Now what happens, beta? One more thing. Here comes the Aravalli mountain range because of wind. Because of which wind moves beyond this region in Rajasthan but could not carry the moisture. Could not carry the moisture. Why it could not carry the moisture? Because all the moisture is loosed here only, and this region becomes dry region because of the presence of Aravalli hills. ठीक है? Get it? Now this was the time when Tropic of Cancer receives what? High temperature due to summer season. Due to summer season. After some time, beta, this sun starts moving southward. Start moving what, beta? Southward. When the sun reaches to Tropic of Capricorn, what will happen? Here will be low temperature but high pressure. So wind starts moving from high pressure to low pressure. This entire belts become high pressure, and hence, beta, the reversal of the wind will occur. The reversal of the winds takes place. When the winds are moving back, beta, what happens? These winds which are moving back will take the rain, or what we can say, the moisture from here, and then in some parts of India, what will happen, beta? Post monsoon also there will be rainfall. Right? There will be rainfall, which is known as retreating monsoon. Which is known as retreating monsoon. Acha, this retreating monsoon is happening from the winds that are coming from north as well as this direction, that is east, and hence it is known as northeast monsoon. I hope that now every picture is clear to you. Coming towards the main important topic again, that was monsoon. Okay? Everything is clear. We studied all the parameters, how monsoon actually happens and how are the winds influence them. Moving further with a question, the word monsoon is derived from the Arabic word mausim, which means what? Which means season. The word means, beta, here season. Okay? Here's the difference between by what, which we studied very nicely now, that is southwest monsoon and northeast monsoon. Mark my word, this difference is going to come in your exam as a question for 5 marks. When I say that this is going to come as a question, you need to understand that it is important. Okay, so beta, southwest monsoon and northeast monsoon, please take a picture of it. And if you guys need notes, I have just explained the entire process how to get these notes available for free. Just hit the link in the description box. So beta, these southwest monsoons coming from sea to land by Indian Ocean to the land region, taking all the moisture along with them. So they are coming from Arabian Sea, Bay of Bengal and Indian Ocean. It occurs between June to September. This is the prime time. Rainy season is there on India, mainly caused by unequal heating of land and sea. Do you remember that land breeze and sea breeze? Yes, it has an impact on that. By during the summer, the landmass of India is highly heated, right, which creates high temperature belt over this region, but also the low pressure belt over this region. And now, as we know that the wind always move from high pressure area, the high pressure belt in the Indian Ocean to the low pressure belt in the lands of India, creates the movement of the wind from what, beta? Southwest towards the India's land, which causes rainfall in the India during the rainy seasons. Let's move to northeast monsoon. It occurs between October to February. During this season, Indian landmass cool fast. Why? Because it is winter season at that time. However, the sea do not. So, as it cool fast, there is high pressure belt, high pressure to low pressure movement is there from the direction that is northeast, and hence it is known as northeast monsoon. Popularly, the rainfall during the winter seasons. We also need not to miss the details that are given in your NCERT. Right, beta, everything is explained in our ancient text and we should be proud of it. Since crop production in India, we know that India is a country which have three cropping seasons, right? Rabi, Kharif and Zaid. How come possible? Because we do have this system and this monsoon system in India. Depending upon the crop production, beta, the seasonal monsoon, that is rain and everything, is predicted and well explained even in our ancient text. One among that is Krishi Parsar and Brihat Samhita. That describes us about every season and the techniques that should be used in the crop production, especially to see the position of moon and sun in the sky to decide what to grow and what not to grow. Similarly, that is Varahamihra. Varahamihra is a person who has returned this text, that is Brihat Samhita, considered lunar mention. You know what is lunar mention? It is basically the movement of moon particularly. Okay? We say that the nakshatra is actually day-to-day movement of the moon. It is well said that moon do not live in the same house every day. So there is the movement as well as the shape also, that is known as nakshatra. So seeing those stars, the location of the moon particularly, the old people were even telling the exact time. And when they were able to tell the exact time, why can't they tell the season? Why can't they tell what should be grown, what should not be grown? So these nakshatra that lunar mentions, the lunar position, the house of the moon, helped to know the ancient people by what is the time and what is the season there in India. So it was really great to see that Indian ancient people were so much well versed in the knowledge, be it astronomy, be it mathematics, or be it geography. Okay, now the question time, that is the northeast winter monsoon, brings rainfall mainly to the eastern coast of India. Why? So we are talking about beta northeast monsoon in the winter time. It happens like it is in the eastern coast majorly the monsoon is there, because the blow is from Arabian Sea to Punjab. So is it from Arabian Sea? No. Is it from Arabian Sea to Punjab? Pick up the moisture by passing over the Bay of Bengal. Okay? Are heated by the Himalayan mountains? Not at all. Blow from equator towards the pole. By this is so illogical, and here it is B as the correct answer. They take the moisture from Bay of Bengal and leave it on coast. So by what is shown in your book, I just draw and told you recently. Okay, and I know it's clear. Now come a very important question. Again an important question, that what is the role played by monsoon in the lives of the people in India? Beta, this is for sure an important question. Consider this as a short question. Okay? A short question in your exam. This paragraph, right? This paragraph is present in your NCERT. What you have to write, convert it into points, because question will be, what is the role played by monsoon in the life of people? 5 marks. Point number 1. Right? Point number 1, beta, the life of the people depends upon monsoon, because the agriculture totally depends upon monsoon. Like what to grow, how to grow, when to harvest. All the decision of the farmer is taken because only of monsoon. Point number 1. A good monsoon ensure that food production and water supply in rivers. So by whenever there will be good irrigation, the crops will grow. Moreover, other than irrigation, we also require water for our day-to-day consumption, and this can only be possible because of the good monsoon season. Second point, monsoon also affects our day-to-day life, transport, festivals and employment too, especially in rural areas. Farmers actually celebrate the festivals according to the monsoons only. There are times when there are excessive rainfall, causes floods and destructs their life, their economy, everything. Like recently, we saw the flood in the Assam region. Okay? What happened? Everyone witnessed it in news. So, but there are chances when there are weak monsoons that can lead to drought-like situation, सूखा, dry पड़ना. ठीक है? Yes, it influences our day-to-day life, economy, lifestyle, and everything. So yes, monsoon is very important for the life of people. More detail is given here in don't miss out wala portion, beta. Don't miss out is important. Oh, okay, it actually means don't miss that. So Kalidas, okay, who is Kalidas, by the way? Bhai, Kalidas is one of the great writer who wrote in Sanskrit language. Okay, he is considered as the first person who is the novelist of India. So in his book Meghdootam, Megha is rainfall. So Meghdootam, written in 5th century CE, 5th century CE, mentioned the date of the onset of the monsoon over central India and also traces the path of the monsoon. Right? But if we see the work of Kalidas, now there are a lot of things like Ritu Samhara, which actually tells us about the season of India. Meghdootam, which tells us about the monsoon of India. Kumar Sambhava, which tells us about the dynasty of rulers. Right? So, a very good writer he was. And I urge you to read this, don't miss out, and you will be doing it. Okay? Now the next important topic, that is climate change. Okay, so one of the biggest issue in the world is about the climate change. Okay? But the climate is changing because we are using the environment or the resources in a greedy manner without even thinking about the future generation. What happened na beta? Because of the development, because of the making of industries, because of the cutting of forest and all that thing, the climate that was naturally working changed a lot because of the human intervention. Right? It changes the weather patterns, it changes the climate. Like we just saw that beta climate change over 30 years and more. You know that if this frequent changes will go on, na, the time will even slow down, and that is creating a negative impact, not a positive one. It will affect the timings of temperature, like you might have noticed very frequently, like in some time of the day, sometimes rainfall happens. You can see that the winter season, it's extremely cold nowadays. The first of like moreover the summer season, it's very harsh. Scorching heat is there in the northern parts of India. It was witnessed this time. So why this world is changing, the climate is changing by the temperature, rainfall, wind, and every factor will change whenever beta the human activities are involved. The human activities like burning of fossil fuels, deforestation, industrial pollution, etc. What happens now? These actions are creating more greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, water vapors in the atmosphere. Now you might be thinking, ma'am, they were already in the atmosphere. Then why is the problem if more is added? Beta, if we change any fixed, what we can say, proportion in the atmosphere, the world will be destroyed. Right? We are adding more of what? Carbon dioxide. When more carbon dioxide will be there, heat will be more. As I just told you, carbon dioxide help us to keep the balance of heat in the earth. Okay? More heat will be there. When more heat will be there, global warming will be there. Then what will happen, beta? Those glaciers will melt, eventually leading to floods and devastation in the parts of India. Okay? Global temperature will increase, and that's increasing. It will create natural disasters like floods, droughts, melting of glacier, rising sea level, and a lot more, affecting the livelihood, affecting the economy of the people. Right? Here one more concept that is given in the book is about carbon footprints. What is carbon footprints? It is total amount of greenhouse gases released in the atmosphere as a result of human activities. Okay? Total amount of what, beta? Greenhouse gases that is released in the atmosphere. Last topic is very much clear. Here we have one more case study. That is the case study of the Punjab floods recently happened in the last year. Before that, we have a question too. Which of the following is not a greenhouse gas mentioned as a cause of climate change? Carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, argon. Got confused? Yes. So what we have to do is to go back and see gases here. Carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, and water vapors. So which one is not here, beta? Argon is not one of the greenhouse gases. Right? Okay. So Punjab floods, the case study. Beta, this is something that created devastation in the life of the people living in the region of Punjab, Haryana, Uttarakhand last year. right? 2025, Punjab experienced severe floods during the time of monsoon season. Why it is, the question is, why it is? Because of multiple human activities, increasing population, creating deforestation, and the greedy nature of humans that made over irrigation in that soil. Over irrigation in that soil. Okay? By for that over irrigation, lot of dams have been made and it affected the natural flow of river, right? But water was locked in the agriculture field, in the houses of the people. It entered into the villages and the condition was severe. What are the causes of Punjab flood? Here there are certain natural and human-made causes listed. As it is a case study, I urge my students to go and read it. Bhai, you are very well aware about what are the natural causes. What are the natural causes, bhai? We know that deforestation is one of the cause. Satluj, Byas, Ravi, all the major tributaries of the Indus River. Punjab, you know what is Punjab? Land of 5 rivers. By 5 rivers are already present there. Whenever there will be heavy rainfalls, the volume of the water will, like the volume of the river will not be enough to hold that water, and when that water will come out, it will lead to overflow and affect the households. Okay? But yes, there are certain human-made causes also. Beta, the floods were further aggravated by weak and old river embankments. Yes. So the river embankments that used to stop that excess water coming out were very old. The structure and infrastructure is very old. That embankments are known as Dusi Bandh, which could not stop the rising water during heavy rainfall, and then the situation was unhandleable. Right? And these are the causes, these are the impacts. Many people lost their life, thousands of people have to leave their homes, large areas of farmlands which destroyed the paddy and the wheat grown over that time. Poultry and dairy farms were damaged and destroyed, road, bridge, border, fence, public buildings all damaged, and the situation was health problems among humans who were standing in the water for longer time. These were the impacts, and these are not only the impacts in Punjab, beta, it is the effect in every region which is impacted by the flood, like recently Assam. I hope that you don't study next year any such case study, because we don't want any such natural disaster in India anymore. Okay? Ending the chapter happily, because we completed one of the difficult chapter in geography, that is atmosphere and climates. I consider shaping wala thoda easy na, and this is how we level up with the chapter, that is atmosphere and climate. By the way, everything is explained by me in detail using those NCERT, beta notes made in between, the questions being told in between. They are going to help you study like the way I am teaching you, and trust me, just do what I am telling you, and trust me, you will rock in your exam. Okay, I'm not going to leave you without solving those NCERT questions written. First one here, I will give you a brief about how to solve these questions. By the way, you have to solve it for sure. So what is atmosphere? By it is blanket of air. Explain its composition with the help of a pie diagram. Draw that pie diagram. Do not blame your teacher for not giving the marks, because here it is written a pie diagram. Okay? Next is draw a label diagram of the structure of atmosphere. Draw a diagram and please briefly write about them. Okay? Don't think if only diagram is given, we are not going to write and you have to give the marks. No. No blame game from this year. Okay? What are the four main seasons of India? You know, right? Why do you not feel the pressure of the atmosphere? Very important one that given in that box, because human also exert pressure on the air. In which layer of atmosphere do aeroplanes fly, and why? Stratosphere, because there is no disturbance. Distinguish between the following: troposphere and stratosphere, southwest monsoon and the northeast monsoon. These are the important NCERT question. By the way, bacha, all those 6 questions you will solve. There is a difficult question, that is question number 7 added. Okay? Beta, there is a chart given in your NCERT. There is a chart given in NCERT. There are 10 locations of India listed there. The locations are Bengaluru, Mumbai, Kolkata, Delhi, Jodhpur, Chennai, Nagpur, Shillong, Tiruvananthapuram. Okay? you have to do is what? To analyze the temperature there, because here they have defined you the temperature, the rainfall, the latitude also. What is latitude, beta? See, this is like, for example, this is Earth and this is 0 degree latitude. 1, 2, the Tropic of Cancer is 23.5. So every place, from every place a latitude passes which actually defines its location. So altitude is also given and the temperature is also given. Then annual rainfall is also given. By C, you don't need to study it thoroughly. You just need your brain to analyze it. We will do it all together. So the question number 1, that is 7.1 says, acha, okay, wait, what happened suddenly? Okay, so the question number 1 says, we have a solution for that, don't move. Okay, 7.1, the first question asks you that the stations, you have to arrange the stations by distance from equator, that is nearest to farther. So by this is equator. ठीक है, above equator lies the tip of India. So you just need to figure out that you have to arrange the cities from south to north. So the question says distance from equator, south to north करना है. So it is Thiruvananthapuram in Kerala, then it will be Bengaluru in Karnataka, then it is beta Chennai, ठीक है, then it is Mumbai. Yes, yeah, it is first Bengaluru and then it is Chennai. So this is also tricky here, right? You can write Chennai first, but if you look at the map, so the location of Bengaluru is in south and Chennai is in north. Mumbai, then Nagpur, Kolkata, Shillong, because Shillong is in Meghalaya, then Jodhpur and then Delhi. So we don't need to learn them because here in the question itself their altitude, their latitudes are mentioned. So arrange it from south to north, equator to north. ठीक है, very easy. चलो, next question is 2 stations with extreme climate, right? So beta, what happened na here in this, the climate, the temperature is given. Temperature is given. So you have to tell about 2 extreme locations. So one is Leh because it is coldest. So extreme low temperature is there. Then there is another one, that is Jodhpur, extreme high temperature is there. Evaluate it. Next is 2 station influenced by retreating monsoon. When the monsoon retreats, 2 places by obviously South India because the wind carries moisture coming from northeast. From where? Bay of Bengal. Hit the coast of India, eastern coast of India and moves beyond, that is Chennai and Thiruvananthapuram according to the chart that is given. ठीक है, we have one more, 2 hottest station. By hottest station, one is Thiruvananthapuram because it is close to equator and the other one is Jodhpur and Delhi. You know Jodhpur why it is, because it is in Rajasthan. ठीक है, चलो, very good. Now that is 7.3. Why does Shillong experience more rainfall than Calcutta? Why does? Beta, because see, this is the tip of India. This is Calcutta and this is Shillong. Shillong is in northeast India. Why Calcutta is just receiving the rainfall from what, beta? Southwest winds coming from which ocean? Arabian Sea. Now you know that this winds loses its moisture as they collides with the Western Ghats. But when the wind moves beyond, take the moisture from Bay of Bengal, lot of moisture is there in the winds which drops at a place that is Meghalaya. Get it? Next question. Why does Delhi receives more rainfall than Jodhpur? Obviously because of the presence of Aravalli Hills. ठीक है? We have more, like Thiruvananthapuram has a equitable climate because that is very close to equator. And why it is equitable all the times? Because beta, the temperature is normally same all the time. Along with that, it is surrounded by sea, which keep its temperature and what we can say weather moderate. ठीक है, Chennai get more rainfall only after the flurry of monsoon is over in the most parts of the country. Why beta? Because Chennai is receiving the monsoon also from retreating wala. ठीक है, retreating monsoon, that is northeast monsoon in the month of October and November, right after most parts of India get the monsoon. ठीक है, Leh has moderate precipitation almost throughout the year. Why? Because Leh lies in the Trans-Himalaya region at high altitude. right? And here in the rain, the shadow of the Himalayas, so the summer monsoon barely reaches us because of the height of the Himalayas. Okay? This is the reason. So whatever little precipitation it gets, only 8.5 centimeter annually, comes in small amounts spread across the year. So whatever precipitation because of they have, it is throughout the year, but it is very less, and hence it is known as cold desert. Done with the NCERT question, done with the MCQs. After every topic, explained the topic very nicely. Everything is done. Okay? Now it is the time you are being given a duty. And what is that duty? Homework questions. What is that duty, beta? Homework question. Here are a list of 5 questions that you have to solve anyhow after completing the chapter. Right? I hope that every topic is clear in your mind. Now go, read NCERT thoroughly, underline the keywords, make short notes, come back and solve these homework questions. In case you need the PDF, in case you need these homework questions and the MCQs, just a simple way I told you in the starting of the session also, but I will tell you again, and that is through the help of Vedantu. ठीक है बेटा, you will just go to the YouTube channel, you will just hit this link related to the courses given to us. You will go buy now and then you will be directed towards your courses. When you go there, beta, the page of your courses will look like this. Like you are in class 9, go to class 9, right? Now you want the notes of SST chapter, go to view, go to other, and the list will be there. Whatever chapter you want, there are class slides attached to it. Just hit that, download it for free. The easiest way to get the notes. Okay, getting my point? Chalo, very good. Before leaving, I just want to inform you about one of the very important exam that is going to held, and that is MVSAT. Beta, this is a scholarship based offline exam, okay, conducted by Vedantu every year to provide scholarship to the students to access the courses for which they pay a lot. Scholarship test where you can get 100% of scholarships. But how to perform? Very nice in the exam. So all the related details are here. Like this is OMR based offline exam. It will be in English. The questions will be objective types. If you are a student from class 7 to 10th, then you will not need to give, you will not be having minus mark for your answers. But if you are beyond that, like class 11th, 12th, JEE, NEET, so we need to make a difficult paper, including the negative marking. When is the exam? So beta, the exam is on 27th of October. The date of result is on 27th of October. However, the last date to register is 30th of September. When will be the exams conducted? Beta, the exams will be conducted in the month of October itself. Okay? So yes, along with the scholarship, we have lot more things like free Olympiad camps, content for your board examination, and lot more thing. Bhai, these are the things. That is Universal Studio Singapore paid trip, and then you will have workshops with Pulkit sir and a lot more gifts too. By the way, this is it from my side for the chapter. And what is the chapter? Atmosphere and climate. By the way, which is the next chapter that you want from my side? I know the votes are going to be more for state and society. Be happy, because after this chapter, which chapter is going to come? That is state and society. Beta, even I have to make efforts to learn that chapter, make best notes possible for you. I'm working on it. After that, we will work together on this. Bye-bye. Take care. Enjoy your days. Don't take stress, yeah. Your SST is on me. Bye-bye. Take care.